Welcome back, guys, to another Clash Royale video, and today we have another episode of my Clan Royale series where I share some battles from my fellow clan members, and today I have 3 replays to share with you guys against minor decks. In this battle here on the bottom from my clan, we have Caleb plays Clash, and he's using this giant poison deck here. And this battle actually took place in a recent tournament that he participated in, and he actually ended up getting first place, earning himself a 120 card chest in the process with this giant poison deck. Now, so far in this battle, Caleb has been placing down an elixir pump, trying to get the elixir flowing for later on in the battle, because of course a strong giant push does cost a lot of elixir, but unfortunately right there the mini P.E.K.K.A does get one hit in the tower, bringing it down to 1700 health. So Caleb not off to a good start so far, but keep in mind that he wants to focus on pumping up so that later on in the battle he can overwhelm his opponent. Now right here, his opponent is sitting in a miner, trying to take out the pump way in the back, but Caleb predicting the location of the miner perfectly, dropping down the mini P.E.K.K.A in the process to distract the miner and take it out without taking any damage to the elixir pump, which is really important to making this giant poison deck work, because like I said, you do need that elixir for later on in the battle to set up some overwhelming pushes. Now right here, Caleb is going to start setting up a push on the left hand side with the Ice Wizard way in the back, and then as soon as the Ice Wizard makes his way up to the bridge, down goes the Giant up front as well as the Musketeer in the back. And watch this right here, guys. Minions going in there with the Inferno Tower, but the Zap spell resets the attack timer on the Inferno Tower and also weakens all of those minions. So Caleb has a really strong push right here, but take a look at those value Fire Spirits by his opponent right there, taking out both the Musketeer as well as the Ice Wizard, but the Giant doing some decent damage to the tower with the Poison spell slowing it down, and in the end, Caleb was able to bring that tower all the way down to 800 health. So right here, TC, his opponent, is starting to set up a push on the right-hand side with that Princess. Caleb dropping down another Elixir Pump right in the middle there. Princess going in there, but unfortunately the Princess is distracted by the Ice Wizard. Ice Wizard taking out the Princess, and right here, TC going in with another miner. Now once again, Caleb predicting the location of the miner perfectly, using the mini P.E.K.K.A to take it out. Now he has another strong push being set up on the left-hand lane with the Giant up front, the mini P.E.K.K.A in the back, and watch this poison spell right here, guys. Fire Spirits going in, damaging the Musketeer, but not finishing it off. The Musketeer doing some pretty decent damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 300 health. So Caleb has a huge damage lead so far in this battle. Now Caleb is going to go ahead and ignore this miner this time, because his opponent's tower is all the way down to 262 health, and all he really needs to do is cycle to his poison and maybe his Zap spell, or get the Giant to the tower and get one hit off, and he will get the 1 crown victory. So right here, Giant attacking the Inferno Tower, Zap spell going down to reset the attack timer on the Inferno Tower, Poison spell going down, and the Giant making it to the tower, giving Caleb the 1 crown lead. And with 7 seconds left, his opponent is making one last attempt to take out the tower, but it's not enough, and Caleb does get the 1 crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys, on the bottom from my clan. We have Arcane Gate facing off against Moloko in the Legendary Arena, and Arcane is actually a level 9 facing a level 10. In this battle, he's going to go ahead and place down the pump in the bottom left corner there. Moloko is going to put on some immediate pressure with a World Giant on the right hand side, as well as a miner to take out the pump, and Arcane is in some huge trouble right here. The World Giant doing some pretty decent damage to that tower on the right hand side. The miner also taking out the pump to some pretty low health right there. Now, if you guys are facing a miner deck, you should go ahead and place down your pumps in the middle between both of your towers, because that way both towers will help defend it. But in that situation, it wouldn't have really helped much because the World Giant was distracting the tower. So unfortunately, the pump does go down without too much of an elixir advantage. But Arcane is setting up a pretty strong push here on the right hand side with the Giant. Going to go ahead and drop down the mini P.E.K.K.A way in the back there, and like I said, starting to set up a strong push. Now, as you can see right here, he's hovering over his poison spell, probably debating whether to use the poison spell to take out the Princess, but as soon as Moloko used those 3 elixir minions, Arcane decided to use the poison spell to take him out, and then use the guards from the left hand lane to take out the Princess, and in the end, the mini P.E.K.K.A makes it to the tower, getting 1 hit off, and bringing the tower all the way down to 1700 health. So with 1 push, Arcane is back in this game, but right here, he doesn't have a counter push to worry about, and that's the thing when you're facing minor decks, guys, is the majority of minor decks, at least in my experience, kind of rely on doing a defense, and then sending in the miner to protect whatever defensive troops they have going back on a counter push. Even if it is a 1 health minion, a 1 health troop does 100% damage, so you have to be prepared for that when you're facing somebody using a minor deck, whenever you go for an offensive push, you have to expect whatever defensive troops they have left to go back on a counter push and for that miner to protect them. So right here, Royal Giant going on the right hand side, Mini P.E.K.K.A. as well as the guards taking it out pretty quickly, but Arcane's tower is all the way down to 193 health. So he's in some trouble right here, but the Mini P.E.K.K.A. making it to the tower on a counter push, bringing it all the way down to 55 health. So like I said, with one counter push, Arcane is back in this game. Right here, he's going to go ahead and place down another pump in the bottom left corner there and get ready for the overtime period, because it is looking like this game will go into overtime. Right here, Miner going in there, getting some chip damage into the tower, and at this point in the battle, Arcane knows he's going to lose that tower on the right hand side, so he didn't waste any more elixir than he had to trying to defend it. Right here, Mini P.E.K.K.A. going in to take out the Royal Giant. Now take a look at the location of the Mini P.E.K.K.A. Arcane placed it on the left hand side of the arena, so that way, after the Royal Giant goes down, the Mini P.E.K.K.A. will go back on a counter push on the left-hand lane to support the Giant. Now, take a look at this. Giant Skeleton going down with a second Giant in the offensive zone. Down goes the Poison Spell. Both Giants making it their way to the tower, doing some pretty crazy damage. Mini P.E.K.K.A. going in there, getting a couple shots off, giving Arcane the 2-crown lead. And with 8 seconds left, there's nothing Moloko can do to come back from this. So Arcane Gate will get the 2-crown victory. Let's go ahead to the next replay here. So here we are, guys. On the bottom front of clan, we have King Chris facing off in the Frozen Peak arena, and King is actually using the Giant Sparky Wizard strategy, facing off against somebody using a Hog Rider Royal Giant Miner deck. So this should be a pretty interesting battle. His opponent's going to go ahead and send in a Miner just by itself. King is going to use the Goblins here to take it out pretty quickly and also prevent too much chip damage to the tower. And he's going to try and set up an overwhelming push here on the left-hand side with the Giant. But unfortunately, he spent all of his elixir in the process, and his opponent was able to sneak in a Hog Rider on the right-hand side, doing some decent damage to that tower, bringing it down to 1700 health. But on the left-hand side, the Giant does make it to the tower, doing some decent damage. But right here, King has a pretty strong counter push to worry about. The Valkyrie does make it to the tower. Down goes some Barbarians to take out the Barbarians in the back, but unfortunately for King, the Valkyrie does some decent damage in the process. Now right here, King is going to go ahead and start setting up a counter push with the Fire Spirits, but unfortunately his opponent does have the Wizard to take him all out pretty quickly, and right here, King is in huge trouble. Down goes the Royal Giant. Now take a look at King's hand right here. The Goblins are his only strong counter right here, but unfortunately, with the Wizard right there, he can't use him just yet. He has to wait for the Wizard to lock onto the tower before he can use the Goblins, but unfortunately, it's a little bit too late, and the Royal Giant is able to give his opponent the 1-crown lead in this battle. Now right here, Giant going in and counter push. Opponent using some Barbarians here, but right here, King gonna go ahead and use some Fire Spirits to hopefully kill his Barbarians. And the Fire Spirits do kill 2 of the 3 Barbarians, and the Giant was able to do some decent damage in the process, bringing that tower all the way down to 700 health. Now so far, there's 1 minute and 27 seconds left in this battle. King is down 1 tower, but like I said before, he is using that Giant Sparky deck, which we all know is pretty notorious for getting 3-crown victory. Right here, another Naked Miner getting some quick chip damage into that tower. King is going to go ahead and ignore it and just save up the elixir for it, hopefully an overwhelming push here on the left-hand side with that Sparky. His opponent sending in another Hog Rider on the right-hand side, putting on some counter pressure, forcing King to spend elixir defending his tower. But unfortunately for his opponent, the Hog Rider doesn't even get 1 hit in the tower. And right here, King has some pretty strong pushes on both lanes. Barbarians going on the right-hand side. The Sparky still alive with 1 health left, and that 1 health Sparky evening the score to 1 crown apiece. Meanwhile, the Barbarians on the right-hand side doing some decent damage to that tower, bringing it all the way down to 440 health. So there, right there, guys, with 1 counter push, King is back in this game, and he's actually in the lead here with the opponent's tower all the way down to 450 health. Now right here, Sparky going up on the right-hand side with some Barbarians up front to protect it. Opponent going to go ahead and use a Wizard and try desperately to defend right here, but unfortunately it's a little bit too late. 11 seconds left, the Giant protecting the Sparky, Wizard taking out all that minion horde, and right there, King getting the 2-crown lead, and unfortunately, a couple seconds too late, he wasn't able to get the 3-crown victory. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.